So yeah, for £5 I managed to convert my Coupé into a dog-friendly boot. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm joined with a special guest, like her. So for any of you who are actually interested, this is the 2016 Audi A5 Coupé Black Edition Plus Quattro 230 TFSI. So the laws in the UK have changed a little bit in the past few months. So basically, as it stood, your dog had to be contained within your car. It shouldn't have been able to affect the driver. So now they're saying if it's not with strange, it could be fined to up to £3,000, I think it is. Now a lot of you have probably seen when we have Pablo in the car what he does and where he sits. He just sits on the passenger seat. Now honestly, he's not bothered to us. I'll put a clip in here of what he actually does. Now he is absolutely no bother, he won't affect us, he just sits there nice and quiet and just gets on with his journey. In the eyes of the law though, that's completely against it, that's a no-no. Now then, we do have a few issues regarding this in terms of my car specifically, and just all cars in general. So the law states the dog should not be able to interfere with the driver. So basically, he shouldn't be able to touch me in any respects. Now if he's loose in the cabin, he could just jump over. If he's loose in the back seat, he can jump through and jump onto me. Basically, you're not allowed your dog touching you. Ideally, you just put your dog in the boot. Now if like me, you were silly and bought a nice Coupé car that has very little practicality, the dog cannot go in the boot. Putting it on the back seat is also a pain because you can't just open the door and put them in, you've got to pull the seats forward, and even then we struggle to actually physically clip him in. So if you've been around the channel a while, you'll remember this that we bought for Pablo. Now we bought this for when he was a pup, and you probably have noticed we haven't used it since. That's because it's kind of useless, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. So here's the chair in place. As you can see, it's not exactly square, it's not holding up very well. It's as far stretched as it can physically go. It's not even touching the seat for a start. So when you put any pressure on here, the whole thing itself just absolutely buckles in itself, which is absolutely no good. And the other thing about these is, these restraining handles that are supposed to clip onto them, obviously it has to be able to move around with the dog, but at the same time, if you stretch that over there, you clip that onto the back of his harness, he's on my knee. It doesn't restrain them at all. It's literally more of a hassle to have them in here than it is just to sit on the seat. So if we get Pablo, this doesn't particularly look an issue, but watch what happens. Now he's stuck. And he'll do this while driving. Now what's more distracting, this or what happened when we drove on the way here without him being in that? I mean, like, literally, there is literally no point. That is way more distracting than him just sitting on the seat. Now I can understand the whole distracting side of it if the dog sits on your knee. You know, I see van drivers a lot, not calling out van drivers, but van drivers a lot always have dogs just sat on the knee, poking out the window. There's dogs hanging out of windows. I don't agree with any of that, but if they're just sat on the seat, I really don't see the issue with it. In terms of safety, I completely understand. If you have an accident, yeah. Now, no one intends on having an accident, so I try not to think about that, but yeah, that obviously is an issue, and that's why they kind of need secured in. Anyways, the reason I'm doing this video is because we're going to try and convert my boot into a dog-friendly boot, so we don't have to worry about the seats. Because if you actually look at the state of the seats at the moment, you can see kind of all the scratches he's put on the seat. Obviously the hair in the cockpit is ridiculous from where he's been in. Scratched all the side leather. All these dots are from where he sneezes. There's scratch marks when he just tries to jump up and down here. So to be honest, the car's kind of a state, so we would like to just put him in the boot and then everything will be fine. He'd be secure, he won't be able to touch us, he won't be damaging the car, be ideal. But now there is a lot of space in this boot, but as you can see, no parcel shelf. There is nothing stopping us just putting Pablo straight in here, but I think morally you can't, because if I just leave you here, so yeah, you can see not having a parcel shelf is a real issue because there is no light, you can't see us or anything like that. Now that is very distraught for him, he won't know what's happening, he'll be rolling about in the dark, can't do that to him. So we need some sort of light, but I do believe that this boot here is much better than a normal boot for putting a dog in, for one simple reason: the sunlight that hits that window does not heat that boot up. That boot is always nice and cool regardless of how hot it is outside, and that is absolutely perfect for a pug. The only issue is light. Now the plan is, where the back seats are, to put a mesh on, push the back seats down so that he stays within the boot, but then gets the natural light from the car and the airflow that's in the car. So there you go. So if I put you in the boot now, then close the boot, you're going to still have the natural light, but you're going to have the nice shaded area that's nice and cool. So then I have some multi-purpose garden netting, some Velcro, and I'm going to try and just do all myself. Now obviously I do want these seats to go up and down, because if Pablo's not in the boot, I don't particularly like the idea of just, it's a lot louder not having the back seats on the acoustics of the car. It's, never mind. Anyways, as long as we don't obstruct that hook and that hook there, we've literally just got the whole area to play with. Now I think we could Velcro it down to this bottom bit and either tuck it under this bit here, or again Velcro it to the top. So I'm just going to have a complete play about with this and hopefully get it somehow to work, and then I'll show you guys the end result at the end. So let's crack on. So I figured out the diameters of the boot using this. So I'm going to cut a template out, then I'm going to use that template to cut another few sheets out, and I'll try to attach them on. Ideally I'll cut a bit more template out because you could just bite through one, but for now we'll see if it works, and if it works, bang on, we'll make a couple of more of these. So there we go, as you can see, Velcro around the top, down the bottom. So now we have a full mesh kit. Now it's not obviously the strongest, but at the end of the day he's going to be pushing this way, so you'll be stood in that. So that should be fine. Ideally I would want Velcro basically just right along the top, right down the sides, right along the bottom, but that's all the Velcro I had lying around the house. I'm surprised they actually had Velcro lying around the house, so that was good enough for me. And then this also should, the seats can fully go back up and down at your leisure. So as you can see, the mesh is still nicely just laid out there. So if I pop the back seats, I'll have to get it from the inside this time. Boom, absolutely fine. Come here, fella. Good boy. Do you want to try the boot out? Ready? Oh! There you go. So it's absolutely ideal for him height-wise as well. It's absolutely bang on. If you had a taller dog, this might not work because it might not physically have the headroom. Watch your head. Good boy. And look at that. Absolutely perfect. So what we'll do is we'll get a bed and stuff put in there so he can't get out. Oh, you'll soon figure out he can't get through. But there you go, let's just put it to its test. He's tried to get through and couldn't. He's going to be quite happy there. Excellent, I'm happy. Are you happy, Bean? Good. Hey! So yeah, for £5 I managed to convert my Coupé into a dog-friendly boot. So, can you really complain about that? Because that means I can keep this car a lot longer, which that would be, this turned into like a little tutorial, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's very different to the normal content I have on this channel, but this is something I've wanted to try and do for a long time, and seeing as it's nice today, ideal. But I'm dead happy with the result. I'm going to get more Velcro and go along, and I'll probably get 1 or 2 more layers of that just so he can't bite through it, because if he does scratch it, it is quite thin. I mean, it is really tough, but just to be on the safe side, I'll maybe put like another 2 or 3 on there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do drop a like. If you're new to the channel and want to see more pug content, and I'm going to try and do some more like stuff like this to make things pug friendly, then do hit that subscribe button. And as always, people, peace out. Stop.